Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. Look who's here. It's Rich Grubaugh. He is the North Clay Athletic Director. I didn't even ask. Take a look over there.
Yeah.
Make sure everything's spelled right.
Yeah, you got it all right.
All right.
First try.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. I feel good about myself now that I've been able to spell Rich's name correctly. We're going to talk today about the current school year, upcoming school year for North Clay High School. Are you also the junior high athletic director?
Yes, I'm the athletic director 5 through 12.
5 through 12. So we're going to talk about the grade school sports coming up, the year coming up, as well as the high school sports year coming up here at North Clay High School, as well as maybe they had a pretty solid year over the past season or so. And we might talk a little bit about that, right?
That's right. That sounds great.
It sounds like a lot of fun. I tell you what. So, yeah, buckle up, folks. It's going to be a good, fun day. See, now you're off camera, so you can smile or polish that trophy over there. I haven't shown, ladies and gentlemen, I haven't shown the trophy yet. I've never touched it, and I don't think I will. Have you heard any superstitions about the trophy? I tell you what, you just keep that to yourself. The trophy's right there. I'm going to ask him about that here in just a little bit because I've got real qualms about touching that trophy. It's like I'll talk to you about it during the show. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, here on Wednesday, August 17th? A few community events going on in and around the area, folks. Down in Fairfield, the Fairfield Memorial Hospital, they're going to host a blood drive today. It's for the public. It'll be from 10:30 a.m. till 3:30 p.m. The blood drive will take place at the Fairfield Memorial Hospital's Educational Annex building. That's at 203 Northwest 10th Street. What you do, folks, it's the big bus. So they're going to bring in the big blood mobile, and you'll go walk into the blood mobile. They'll take your name down. They'll send you to the other room to wait for a few minutes and fill out your stuff. Make sure your stuff's all filled out, and then they'll bring you back in. You do, however, want to have an appointment. So what you want to do is go to redcrossblood.org. That's redcrossblood.org. Make an appointment, and they'll be able to take you in, and they'll draw your blood and make a donation. Donate to save lives. So that's a wonderful thing. Be sure to register online, like I say, at redcrossblood.org. Sponsor code is Fairfield Memorial, or you can also contact for more information Shauna Williams at 618-847-8242. So yeah, give the gift of life. I ask everybody here, and I would be wrong if I didn't ask you. Do you occasionally donate blood, or have
I do occasionally, yeah. A lot of times I help actually run the blood drives at the schools. We usually do, I think it's 2, one through the FFA, and I can't remember the other group, but yeah. So I try to help organize that and give blood where I can, yeah.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, right there, Mr. Healthy, Mr. Health Conscious, Rich Grubaugh. That's outstanding. Good to hear. What else is going on today, folks? Speaking of opportunities to give back to the community, over in Salem at the Salem Community Activities Center, that's over at 416 Oglesby Street. It's the Battle of the Badges Fund Drive. Local civil service agencies will battle for the most donations. So come out and support your favorite. It might be the police department, might be the ambulance folks, might be the fire department, but over there at the Salem Community Activity Center, they'll be helping you out. Probably have food and all kinds of fun stuff from noon till 5 o'clock today. Again, that's at the Salem Community Activities Center. What else is going on today, folks? August 17th, nationally, this is recognized all over the world as Black Cat Appreciation Day. This aims to dispel all myths surrounding black cats. Also, the superstitions aside, cats are simply adorable, even black ones. These feline creatures in their sleek black coats may carry an air of mystery. However, most cats do. Along with that, their ability to find mischief or avoid you equals that of tabbies, cinnamons, gingers, calicos, whites, or grays. However, one black cat fact that holds true is they are less likely to be adopted. Just like black dogs, this variety of cats gets shunned whenever at the shelters. So despite this, black cats are still respond to love and attention no differently from any other felines. Here's a 13 reasons, ladies and gentlemen, to adopt a black cat. I'm not going to go over all of them, but a few of them do make a lot of sense. Like number 6 there, black cats are the most fun to play hide and seek with. Wouldn't that make sense?
That makes sense.
If it's in the dark, of course. Yeah, it makes a ton of sense. They're very fun to play hide and seek with. That black cat's a great accessory to any outfit. They go with everything. It's very slimming. Holding your cat will make you look even more extra slender. So there you go. All kinds of fun reasons to adopt or to appreciate black cats today. Or I tell you what, even if you don't want to appreciate a black cat, just don't be mean to them. A lot of people are mean to black cats. You ever had a black cat?
I never owned a cat.
You've never owned a cat?
No.
You know, I went into my adult life thinking that I was never going to own a cat. I'm now on my fourth cat. Well, thanks to the wife.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, thanks to the missus. Yeah, there you go. What else is going on today on August 17th? Oh, by the way, I didn't say Black Cat Day Appreciation Day was started in 2011. It was created by Wayne Morris in honor of his sister and her 20-year-old black cat, Sinbad. His sister and Sinbad both passed away that year. Morris created the day with the hope of dispelling myths associated with black cats. Since then, the observance has grown annually. What else is the day? Today is National Non-Profit Day, August 17th. This recognizes the goals and positive impacts of nonprofits that the nonprofits have on communities around the world. Of course, somewhere a volunteer reads to school children. At the same time, a patient receives steady medication. Lawyers provide legal services for low-income individuals. Lost souls' life is remembered with dignity thanks to a nonprofit funeral home. All kinds of different nonprofit organizations. As a matter of fact, already told you about one, the Red Cross, American Red Cross. Donating blood is certainly a nonprofit organization. So, for example, following the most recent U.S. recession in 2012, the nonprofit sector provided 5.4% of the nation's entire gross domestic product. So there's an interesting thought. National Nonprofit Day was started back in 2017. However, the date of August 17th goes all the way back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tariff Act of 1894. The Tariff Act of 1894, signed into law on August 17th, 1894, imposed the first federal income tax on corporations, including exemptions for nonprofit corporations and charitable institutions. I bet you had no idea you were going to learn about that today.
No, I love that stuff. Before I was an athletic director, I was a history teacher.
Well,
so I love that.
So there you go. You had no idea. 128 years ago, the first nonprofit rules came into. I guess that makes sense. Didn't realize that there weren't any taxes on corporations until 1894.
There you go.
We all learn something every day. What else you want to talk about today? This is National Thrift Shop Day. National Thrift Shop Day on August 17th. Get ready for some bargain shopping. Nearly every town in the United States offers a thrift shop or a secondhand store, so there's no excuse not to celebrate. A thrift shop, also known as a thrift store, charity shop, hospice shop, secondhand shop, consignment, or resale shop, is a retail establishment that sells gently used items. Typically, charitable organizations run the stores to raise money. According to the organization's stated charitable purpose, the organization may also use some of the items to help others get back on their feet after a disaster or when times have been difficult. What are some benefits of thrifting? Well, of course, it helps the budget. It helps the environment. Every item purchased from a thrift shop is one less item in a landfill. Other benefits of thrifting: redecorate on a budget. Thrift shoppers know styles come and go. Find the one you're looking for at a thrift store. Dress for less, no matter the occasion. There are styles galore. Enhance your budget. Expand your library. Books of all kinds find their way into thrift stores, folks. What are some frequently asked questions? Actually, some of these are pretty good. What's the best time? What would you think, Rich, is the best time to shop at a thrift store? Best day.
Best day?
Yeah.
Maybe the day after Thanksgiving, something like that.
That'd be a great day. Yeah. Actually,
action.
a lot of folks claim that Monday and Tuesday are best because lots of donations are made over the weekend. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
However, thrift stores occasionally do still need to thrift or to sort through items first. Are there items you shouldn't buy at a thrift store?
Well, I would think any undergarments probably don't want to buy.
I wouldn't buy undergarments, but they make a specific suggestion of car seats.
Oh, okay.
For car seats for children. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Yeah, you want to get that one new.
Yeah.
I thought they were a really interesting question. Should I wash clothing that I buy at a thrift store?
Always.
Always is right. Any article of clothing you buy should be washed before wearing, with the exception of anything that requires dry cleaning. Most thrift stores don't wash clothes before putting them out for sale, and while the donors may have washed them, the clothing may have sat in boxes for months or years before arriving. You are like all over this. You're very bright.
I love it. Thank you.
That's so
love
cool.
the compliment.
Yeah, I'm here to help. I'm here to make you feel good. That's exactly right, Rich. What's on television, folks? What do you want to see on TV today? Major League Baseball this afternoon here on Wednesday. The Cubs are at the Nationals. Drew Smyly versus Corey Abbott. That's on Marquee, Channel 597 at 12:05. Tonight, Carl, the Rockies are in St. Louis. Herman Marquez versus Jordan Montgomery. That's on Bally Sports at 6:45. The Astros are at the White Sox tonight at 7:10. That's on NBC Sports Chicago, 6:43. Framber Valdez versus Michael Kopech. Maybe they can keep Tony La Russa awake. And at 7:10 tonight, also on Fox Sports 1, the Dodgers are in Milwaukee. Tony Gonsolin versus Eric Lauer. That is Mr. Rich Grubaugh. I am Mr. Bruce Dickey. We are going to come back, talk about North Clay High School right after these words. Do please stick around.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LaMonsOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
It is all things new at Zimdar's Heating, Air Conditioning, and Appliance Repair. We have a new line of heating and cooling equipment and new technicians. Our new equipment line offers 24 months free financing and excellent warranty coverage. Our experienced service technicians can provide you with quality service and repairs on all brands of HVAC equipment. Zimdar's has been serving Clay County and the surrounding areas for over 23 years. The employees of Zimdar's are here to help, so call local and call Zimdar's.
Hello, folks. Welcome back. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on the Wabash Catch TV. My guest today is Rich Grubaugh. He is the North Clay. Now on the thing there, you see on your screen, it just says North Clay High School Athletic Director. That's not all, though, is it?
That's not all. I am the Dean of Students, so I take care of all student behavior management issues.
And that's K through 12?
That's correct. Pre-K through 12, yeah. And then I'm also ground supervisor, so deal with our custodial staff and our cooks in the kitchen. And
kind of the thing at a school the size of North Clay High School and grade school, they have a lot of folks shoveling a lot more jobs than you would at a larger school, right?
Yeah, wear a lot of hats.
I bet you
wear a lot of different hats.
What's the difference? You've been in this you've been Dean of Students longer than you've been AD, haven't you?
No, actually, the same amount of time. Got hired last year, so this will be my second year.
Tell me a little bit about the difference between discipline for a junior in high school versus a second grader. I mean, you can't spank either one of them.
Sure. Yeah. So the main thing that we try to do is we try to make some type of a social or emotional connection with all students. So just take the time to get to know the kid. So if you've got somebody that gets sent down immediately for discipline, let's try to get to know the kid. Why are they acting out the way that they are? A lot of times you'll find out that that kid may only eat once a day.
Yeah.
The lunch or breakfast that we provide.
Right.
And so that kid may arrive to school hungry. He may be angry about his home life and situations like that. And if you can solve how that kid's feeling, then you may be able to actually address the discipline address the behavior before you have to go into the hardcore discipline.
So you're always kind of trying to keep in mind, I guess, mitigating factors and such.
That's if we say that we care about our students, then we care about all of them.
Right.
And if you care about all of them, then you take the time to get to know them and you do what's best for those students. And to be quite honest, discipline is always one of the last things that we do.
Well, that's outstanding to hear. One of the things, this is airing, we're shooting this on Tuesday the 16th. It's airing on the 17th on Wednesday. School started, right?
Yeah, today was our first full day of school.
Here's a picture of the hallway.
Yeah.
Which hallway is this?
This is our high school hallway.
Okay, this is coming from the gymnasium or toward the
Correct.
gymnasium?
This would be heading north toward the brand new gymnasium.
Okay.
That's
All right.
correct.
What are we having a beach time there? Or
That's right. So we are. So
That's pretty cool.
I even wore my shirt today.
I see that.
We are high fives and good vibes. That's what we are.
I love it. How long does that last?
So we're
Until
hopeful.
the kids get sick of school?
No, it'll be a recurring theme that we do all the way until graduation. So,
kidding.
Yeah, so we'll just occasionally have our student sectional dress up kind of like a luau or something like that. It could potentially be the theme for maybe a homecoming dance or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And the teachers actually have different shirts and styles, and so when we have kind of a casual Friday or something, we may do a beach theme, something along those lines.
That's fun. I like that. You're basically you're trying to get kids involved and get them enthused, aren't you?
That's right. We want to try to grab them from the time that they walk in and say it's not just that we care about you, but we want to have a good time.
Yeah.
And we feel like education is something that's valuable to everyone. You can never be too educated in this world. Even for guys my age, I never stop learning. I'm always trying to cram more in there.
We learned it today, didn't we? I mean,
That's
we
right.
learned about the nonprofit thing.
That's right. Didn't know anything about that.
I had no idea either.
And so if you can do that in a fun fashion, a lot of times that'll stick more.
Well,
And,
that makes a ton of sense. As the building superintendent or the grounds supervisor, there've been quite a few changes over the last couple of years in North Clay, haven't they?
Yeah.
In addition, it's a lot cooler in that gymnasium now in the summertime, isn't it?
So one of the first things I did is called my buddy Joel Hackney and said, if we can get air conditioning in our gym, you can get air conditioning in your gym.
Well done. They needed it in Florida as well. Oh my gosh!
But
Both those buildings kept some heat.
That's right. So North Clay High School became a consolidated high school in 1948. And so the gym floor the original boiler system. Things like that were still in place from 1948. And so,
Wait a second. That's the original gym floor, the one that folks saw this year?
that's correct. And we still have pieces available for anyone that's looking for those. We have those set aside, and we'd be happy to get you squared away with
that's
a piece
really
of history. Yeah.
How big are the chunks?
So they end up being about 4 feet by 4 feet.
Oh, no
So
kidding.
they're nice sized, yeah.
People can make tables out of that.
That's what a lot of people have done. They've made coffee tables. There's a guy that does some woodworking that's really made some really nice personalized commemorative pieces. And so what we did was, obviously you mentioned we added air conditioning. We added some new bleachers,
Right.
some rollout bleachers and things like that. But obviously the new gym floor is kind of the pièce de
The
résistance.
pièce. I love it. If you want to see what we're talking about, folks, here is the gym floor. If you'd have been looking
Lot of
from
history
the
right there.
southeast corner of the gymnasium last year, you still had.
And so we'd obviously painted that with the NC logo,
Right.
that's the North Carolina logo. And
Right.
one of the reasons we don't use it anymore is because it's clearly the North Carolina
I was
logo.
wondering about that. I was wondering if you were going to get sued for the NC. We haven't been sued yet. I guess that's
Right.
good. Well,
So-
they may have put a cease and desist on
but
it.
the actual wood on that floor is the original wooden floor. It's got the sleeper system underneath of it from 1948.
What is a sleeper system?
It's just a flooring system, so it allows.
kind of a
it gives you,
padding?
it gives you the padding and the give that you would need for that many. Like say a graduation, we put nearly 1,000 people on that floor,
Yeah, I
and
guess
so
that-
so we're pretty excited to move on to the new gym
So
floor.
here is the new floor that folks may not have seen yet. I've got a picture
Yeah.
from the other side, but this kind of also gives you the view of the bleachers that were new a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah, this is so. We're really proud of this. We went with the two-tone wood. We went the school colors inside the free throw line and the key. Obviously, the large cardinal head. The newer NC logos on the sides. We're still thinking about adding some new doors. Maybe some new paint and things along those lines. We're possibly going to put the scores table up.
Oh, really?
On the permanent bleachers there on that first row.
Oh, really? So it'll be on the steps?
Yeah,
or
we talked
on
about
the-
seeing if we could do something like that because right now we don't want to get that scores table out on the new floor. We want to make
Oh, I see.
it pushes out just a little bit. It's pretty tight.
Well,
it's tough for
yeah,
officials to get through
yeah.
there, and so we thought we'd try to since we're going to redo.
So
the
you're going to
gym,
put it like here near the half line,
right at the very front of your picture.
Wow.
Yeah.
How will the fans be able to get around
Yeah,
that?
so we'd likely just have to cut out a couple rows of bleachers, and then that next set behind the scores table would
Okay.
become the new row.
Here's the little bit more detail on this on the two-tone. That is a gorgeous floor, Rich.
Thank you. We're really proud of the way I don't know that it does justice until you get there in person, but
Yeah.
that red pops.
doesn't it?
I mean, it really and
Where'd you get the NC logo?
So that NC logo, I believe, was made by, I want to say that was Adrian Guzman.
Oh, really?
I'm not totally sure on that, but Chad Traub is our
A
current
local-
IT guy, and then Adrian was before him and is now working in Newton School District, and they're both wizards with technology.
Well, that's outstanding. I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back here with Rich Grubaugh, talk a little bit about last year's sports as well as this year's sports. We're finally going to get a little bit more to the AD part.
There you go, the fun stuff.
Is that the most fun or is that the less fun?
I don't know.
You think about that. And we're talking about it when you come back. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Back right after this. Stick around.
At Midwest Farm and Land, we've got a team of dedicated land, home, and commercial experts ready to help.
We understand that buying or selling a property can be extremely stressful. Let our folks take care of you and help you find your perfect piece of property.
Whether it's recreational or hunting land, farmland, homes, or commercial, we're there to help.
Local experts with national reach. If you're interested, give us a call, 618-532-1961, or check us out on the website, MidwestFarmCo.com.
Hi, my name is Bruce Dickey of Wabash Catch TV's Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Watch us each weekday right here on your local cable station. We're on at 9 a.m. with a repeat at 9 p.m. It's your local TV talk show with plenty of information, fun, and frivolity to get your day started right or maybe even ended right. Please contact me at 665-9970 or at bruced@wabash.net if you or a member of your organization would like to be a guest on the show. That's 665-9970. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Hey, thanks for watching.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LaMonsOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Get ahead of the game at Carter Athletic Academy, where the goal is to transform you into the best young athlete you can be. Train for top performance in football, volleyball, soccer, baseball, and softball. Professional private lessons and clinics are always available with Carter Athletic Academy's expert training staff. Carter's exclusive hit track system brings skill development as well as exciting gameplay to batting cages. Plus, the Academy is the perfect spot for your special event or celebration. The Carter Athletic Academy in Fairfield. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back here to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Rich Grubaugh is here. He's North Clay's athletic director, North Clay High School and grade school. How often do you, in grade school and high school, the job is pretty similar, whether you're dealing with high school kids and grade school kids, isn't it? Basically, you're finding officials, aren't you, and making sure the schedule's right.
That's right. So, we start with your times. So, what's the date? What time does the event start? And then you make sure the opponent knows that.
Yeah.
That's a big part.
That's half the battle.
That is. And then after that, you try to find the officials that can work, and there's a serious shortage out there. If anybody's ever thought of going into officiating any sport at any level, there's a need.
We talk about it on the show every time I have a coach here, or former coach. If you have a mind to do it, it's a wonderful thing to be around kids. It's a lot of fun. You occasionally hear people beef at you.
Yeah, but it's
I got to tell you, I think it was worse 10 years ago than it is now.
I know that
but that's me.
I helped coach Flora football for a few years, and I know that once I got comfortable, I couldn't hear any of the people screaming at me.
Oh, is that
I'm
right?
sure they had plenty to say, but you get so involved in the moment that you don't hear it. I'm sure it's like that for officials too.
Now, granted, I have a headset on in the audience, and usually I'm a little bit higher than the floor level. But I really do think 10 to 15 to 20 years ago, it was probably a little bit rougher than it is now. Now, maybe the people today would tell you I'm wrong.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is the social media, the availability for people to record those tense moments, and so they get replayed a lot more.
That's probably true.
I think that's a big part of it also.
But all right, we've been mingling around it for the last while. Let's finally get to the meat. The last school year you've had a class over the last year that was basically projecting in baseball to be outstanding in 2022, weren't they?
Yes, yeah. This is a group that's been special. Their phrase is 10 years in the making. They grew up playing together.
Who came up with that? Was that Coach Freck?
I don't think so. I think it was one of the parents. But whoever did, they should have trademarked it, honestly, because we try to use that to talk about just how close these kids are. It's not just a baseball thing. They're friends for life. They're brothers that are united under the red and the black.
Yeah.
And they When I took over as coach, we talked about bringing back a North Clay way of playing baseball. To us, it was people like Monty Aldrich that instilled that.
Hard nose.
We're a blue collar community. You need to make our community proud of the way that you work. Show up and grind. Do it the right way. Remember that there's little kids that idolize you. Don't say or do something that's going to tarnish your image in their eyes. We have a simple hierarchy that I started with Kerry Martin when he was my football coach.
Back in Flora.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're a religious person, your God should be first.
Yeah.
And if you're not a religious person, or even if you are, then your country should come second, and then your family. And if you take care of those three things on a daily basis, everything else will take care of itself. So then we ask you to be a student athlete next, do the best you can, be honest, have fun, and that goes into whatever we do athletically. And then somewhere in there, just be proud to be a Cardinal.
Well, I tell you what, we've got some pictures here. They won state tournament, basically, is what I've avoided. The one state tournament back in May. Here's the sectional bracket. Looking at this bracket, this is actually after you'd already beaten South Central, who gave you a terrific fight in the regional. You played Stu Strauss in the sectional final.
Great team.
And the other closest game that you had of those two teams, well, I'm not going to ask you which was tougher, but were the other teams in the NTC, were they kind of the thought process, these are going to be the teams that once we beat these, we're feeling pretty good about ourselves?
Not necessarily, but we take a lot of pride in being in the NTC. We feel like the National Trail Conference is the premier 1A sports conference in the state. If you can win the NTC in whatever sport it is, you can win state. And so for us, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think that especially means something in baseball.
Absolutely.
With the NTC playing fall as well as spring baseball.
Right, and you get to know each other, it's great. We had a ton of support from our NTC friends and allies. But during the season, those battles are intense.
Oh, yeah.
We're 33-6. One of those losses is to a conference team, to South Central.
Right.
That's probably our oldest rivalry in North Clay, the North Clay South Central rivalry. I know that hurts a lot of Flora people's feelings.
It's 20 miles away. It's and Flora has played other teams for years.
Right, and so, we played St. Anthony, we played Windsor Stu Strauss. I'll be honest, having seen the teams at state, I feel confident that any one of those four teams could have won state.
That's a great point. I was wondering about that because St. Anthony had advanced and played very well years before. Yeah. South Central won in 2021.
Right, just the year before, beat us 1-0.
And Windsor Stu Strauss, they were loaded this year.
They were spectacular, and their kids played so hard against us. Their coach did a great job of having them prepared, and they really did have us on the ropes. And
ended you guys scored on kind of an odd play or something.
Yeah, there were a couple of different plays where kid balked. On a straight steal at home by Logan Fleener. And then we had a double play where a kid interfered with Colin Ballard, turning the double play at second base. And
it's interference.
It's interference.
You can't do it.
The umpires didn't miss the calls. It's that in a regular season, you have a two-man crew.
Right.
Those calls don't always get made. With a three-man crew in the postseason, they see it.
Here's what the state championship box score looked like. And this is the thing, folks. If you look at these numbers, North Clay, 12 runs in the championship, 15 in the semifinal, 8 in the super. And with the pitching that North Clay had this year, that made the team tough to beat.
Yeah, so Donnie Zimmerman, 19-0 between the fall and the spring, 1.0 ERA. I know there's a lot of people that would come out and watch him and say, he's probably in the low 80s. I'm not that impressed with him. Well, all I can say is once upon a time, there were pitchers. You would watch a Louis Tiant or somebody like that, and they would mix speeds. If hitting is timing, pitching is disrupting timing.
Right.
And so that's what Donnie did better than anyone I saw in 1A.
Yeah.
He was the best 1A pitcher I saw. Now, that's nothing against South Central had a phenomenal pitcher. Stu Strauss had a great pitcher. It was fun to watch. But Donnie found a way to win every game that he started.
Right.
And that counts for something.
It really does. He won the semifinal game. I don't have the box for that. I've got, like I said, the box here. Look at the 12 runs here in a championship game. That just doesn't happen all that often, does it?
No, so Brown County, they came out and they kind of got on Burke a little bit early. Carson Burke started the championship game, and they were good. The middle of their order could really hit. Their 3-4 guys could hit. And so they were putting the ball in play. They were putting some runs on the board, and our kids responded. And it was a true 1 through 9 performance. Colin Ballard, of course, at the top kind of sets the trend for us. He sees a lot of pitches, hits the ball hard.
Yeah.
He's always a tough out. And then as you start working through the order, Holden Clifton had a wonderful state series. Logan Fleener, I asked John, and I never got the response, but I'd love to see Logan Fleener's on base percentage for the entire postseason.
Oh, I bet
it felt like he was on base every time he got up. And so, with going with Colin and Fleener at the top, now that sets the table for all those RBI guys.
The fascinating thing to me is you have Brighton Griffey batting 9th in the state championship game. And, and I mean, He's going to college. He's playing college baseball.
Going to Vincennes University.
You don't see the number 9 hitter going to play college ball.
Effingham Daily News Player of the Year.
Yeah.
All-conference player. Could have easily been an all-state player. Plays a phenomenal defensive center field.
Center field amazing.
And could throw a little bit for us, but most importantly, he came up with all these big hits. You go to the South Central game. It's a 1-1 game. It's the bottom of the 6th. We got bases loaded. Your 9 hitter up. What do you expect? And he drills a gap or
expect a pop up.
Yeah. And so they end up trying to get him at third on the triple. They throw it in the dugout. He walks home. It goes from 1-1 to 5-1, and the game's over at that point.
I tell you what, it's like Coach Freck sets the lineup up, and I mean it's intriguing strategy. Here is the winning leap right at the end of the game.
So that's Brady Ingram and Holden Clifton. And if you were going to pick 2 kids to represent North Clay, you'd probably pick them. Although you could have picked any of the guys on this team.
Here's the huddle right after that.
Yeah. So Brady is probably the best defensive catcher I've ever seen, and we take a lot of pride in that at North Clay.
Yeah.
Andy Haynes and Matt Thompson, Preston Johnson, Harmon Clifton. I mean, we could go on and on. The catching in North Clay is top notch, and Brady may just be the best of the bunch. In the Leroy game in the semifinals, the game's still kind of close, and they've got a couple guys on, and he does a straight pickoff on a pitch to get a guy at second base and picks the kid off second base, and Leroy didn't score again in the entire tournament.
Oh, wow.
You talk about a momentum shift.
Oh, I would, no kidding. That's just, that's outstanding. Now, I was thinking, I couldn't really tell the number, but that may not be Brighton. I thought that might be Brighton.
No, I think that's actually Brady.
Okay.
But yeah, we've got, that's.
By the way, thanks very much to Mrs.
Christina Widener. Yeah.
Christina Widener for providing these photos. Great work, outstanding, and she's getting that ball right off the bat. That's a pretty good picture.
Yeah. So that's one of the great things this postseason is I hope that all the kids had a moment where they realized this wouldn't have been possible without them. Dakota Widener had some huge hits, some great plays in right field. Leighton Dawkins with some monster plays at second base, left field. Nice big hit in the championship game down the first base line to kind of help bust it open. There's several guys there that sometimes get lost in the shuffle of maybe the names or the faces, but it wouldn't have been possible without any of them.
Right.
And the best, most supportive bench I think I've ever seen in high school.
That's the thing. The bench didn't get. Let me rephrase that. The younger players didn't get to play a ton.
Right.
Over the past season. Well, they got to play sometime in games that got a little out of hand, but for the most part, they didn't get to play a ton. They got to learn a lot from these seniors, didn't they?
Yeah, well, I mean, we have high expectations for this year's team. We lost 8 starters.
Yeah.
Logan Fleener will be the only starter that's coming back. Having said that, they practiced against the state champions every day.
I can tell you about that. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here with Rich Grubaugh talking about North Clay baseball as well as the rest of the sports at North Clay here on Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Back in a second. Having car trouble, need a tow, or just some routine maintenance? Butcher Automotive in Louisville has you covered. Locally owned and operated, Butcher Automotive offers complete vehicle repair services along with tire sales and wheel alignment. They're your local Hankook tire and interstate battery dealer. Butcher Automotive offers free local pickup and delivery so your car can be repaired while you're at work or at home. Butcher strives to treat everyone's vehicle as their own. At Butcher Automotive, they don't want you to give them your business, they want to earn it.
Does your home show signs of foundation problems? Call the experts at Woods Basement Systems. Our Power Brace system can fix the problem permanently and help protect the value of your home. Call Woods Basement Systems today. Woods, the all things basement-y experts.
Mold, rank air, pests, all getting closer to inside your home. With a dirt crawl space, there's no telling what's below you.
A sealed crawl space locks the nasty stuff out, plus can lower your utility bills. Woods, the all things basement-y experts.
Residents of the Clay County and surrounding area have relied on Clay County State Bank for sound professional service for over 100 years. With convenient lobby and drive-up hours, we are ready to serve you Monday through Saturday. We appreciate all who bank with us, and we look forward to the opportunity of working with anyone who is looking for a community bank to help with their financial needs. Give us a call at 665-3314, visit us online, or stop by and see us on the square in Louisville to experience our friendly personal service.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont's always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LaMonsOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
I thought I'd lost my business in that fire, but my agent was there before the flames were out. He said, together, we're going to rebuild. Our employees depended on it. My independent agent and auto owners made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there. Auto Owners Insurance. North Wayne Insurance Agency in Flora is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to. See, I'm in charge of the microphones, Rich, so I can say those kind of things.
Yeah, that's right.
Before I hit the button. Because if I said it after I hit the button, I might not have the job anymore.
Right. Instant edit.
That's right. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey, folks. Rich Grubaugh is here. He's the North Clay High School athletic director, and we're talking about. I haven't even shown it nearly enough. We're talking about this big thing. Yeah. That is the state championship trophy for Class 1A baseball, Illinois High School Association. That's what we've all been. That's what everybody's been trying to get, and I've got a picture here. You can tell me a little bit about it that has it in. That is that particular trophy, isn't it?
That's it. That's when we got it, and that's when it started to go.
Yeah, when does it sink in?
So honestly, I think that it hit different people at different times.
Because you were a former baseball coach. I mean,
yeah.
This must have hit you pretty hard.
It did. So when I first started, we had 8 players. You got to have 9. And
yeah, it's kind of
so
tough.
the guy before me had said that you'd never win at North Clay, and so if he's watching, this is our state championship trophy.
That again, so
yeah, right there. I constantly remind kids about the history of baseball at North Clay because it didn't start with us. It didn't end with us. It's not starting and ending with this trophy. This trophy was about all the guys that came before us,
right.
Andy Haynes, Kyle Haynes, Josh Zinks, Jordan Harmons, the list goes on and on of guys that built that program up so that when this team went to state, they represented everybody that ever wore the North Clay. Everybody that ever wore the red and black was behind us that day, and it felt like it. That crowd was incredible.
Let's talk. Let's show a little bit more. This is on the field. How much time did you guys have to celebrate on the field before they were kicking you off there?
None. You can see in the background, that's actually the next team coming on the field.
Oh, is that right?
Play. So you asked when it hits me. For John, it was immediate, and when he was putting the medals on each kid's head, so the lady comes out and says, "Do you want me to do it, or do you want to do it?" And John took those away from her and said, "Those are my boys. I'm doing it."
Well, that's cool.
And so for me, it was when they were putting the medals on the other team's kids, because as athletic director, I got to figure out I don't want to mess up.
Yeah.
So they start with Travis Wyatt and myself, the superintendent. Right. They start with us, and then they move on down. And while they're giving out those medals, I could think of everyone, and all the things that they had meant to me. But then, like, for the players and the parents, they're done. I still got to get everybody back on a bus. We got to do a celebration when we get home. I got to get the trophy out.
Still working.
Yeah, I had maybe a couple of minutes there, and my youngest daughter Brooklyn went with me, and I love that, being able to share that experience with her. But yeah, I had to go back to work.
Here's a couple of other shots. You had a huge crowd up there all weekend long.
Massive crowd, and we were complimented the whole weekend on the way our boys behaved, but also the way our crowd behaved. There were a few moments there where maybe a kid got hurt, or maybe a play didn't go a certain way, and our fans would actually cheer for the other kid, realizing that that's just a kid, and it's just as big a moment for him as it was for our kids. And so I really believe that North Clay has the best fans that I've ever been around.
Well, that's outstanding. I've also snuck in a couple pictures just because it was shameless self-promotion of Wabash, because I've got you mentioned Josh Zink a few times. Yeah. There's Josh holding the trophy. Don't tell me that guy hadn't put in a lot of hours trying to get to that kind of time.
So I can't say enough about what the Zink family has meant to me. Of course, Josh and I are the same age. We grew up, we knew each other, mutual respect in sports and things along those lines. And then his brother Johnny was my assistant coach.
Oh, was that right?
Yeah, I was able to coach his nephews, John Logan and Jonah, had Jansen in class. And when we won our first regional as head coach, got to hang out with them and celebrate, and it just, Josh is the voice of North Clay. He's the face of North Clay, especially baseball. People that don't remember what a phenomenal player he was. And
he wasn't even the best on his team.
The swing was just, it was so beautiful.
Wouldn't Haynes have been Haynes had the better their future career.
I'll say this: their team was very similar to this team in that they could beat you in so many different ways.
I guess that's true. I guess that's true. And like we said, Josh is going to be doing baseball when he can, because he's also coaching junior high softball.
Junior high softball. Yeah, he's just such a busy guy.
I'll be covering for Josh on some baseball, a couple of ball games. So if you hear a different voice on North Clay baseball, it's me. Don't worry about it. I'm qualified.
Right. Don't turn the dial. Keep listening.
Keep listening. That's right. Don't change the channel. Yeah. But also I had to put one of your other coaches on the TV. And Barry does a nice job.
Barry spends Barry and Kim take care of me all the time also.
I can't believe he's got his boy wearing the South Central traveling team hat for
he heard that a few times that weekend.
Well, I tell you what, let's do. We're going to take one more quick break, talk about a few more things about that weekend, because they had the big community celebration right after that. We're going to talk with Rich Grubaugh. We're going to talk about that, as well as take a look at some of the stuff coming up in 22-23. Back right after this. Do stick around.
Make Carnaby Square in downtown Fairfield your fashion leader. We're the little boutique with the big inventory of beautiful, trendy outfits and clothing in a wide array of your favorite name brands. And don't forget our large selection of jewelry and accessories. Carnaby Square is Southern Illinois' largest dealer of Brighton. At Carnaby Square, we take pride in our one-on-one, knowledgeable customer service and look forward to helping you create your own special look. Plus, always free gift wrapping. Find endless gift ideas 24/7 at CarnabySquare.com and on our Facebook page. Shop the fashion leader in downtown Fairfield, Carnaby Square.
Napa know-how. At Flora Auto Parts, you can count on the Napa know-how experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, your locally owned Napa store carries a large inventory of parts for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced counter people understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa know-how at Flora Auto Parts.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont's always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LaMonsOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
In 1916, Warren Miller chose Auto Owners Insurance. Later, his son made the same choice, as did his grandson. And today, his great-granddaughter did the same. As we reflect on where we've been, we're grateful to our independent agents and to those who have put their trust in us, and to the generations who will. Auto Owners Insurance.
Harrison Insurance in Louisville is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
Hello, folks. Welcome back. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. Rich Grubaugh is here, the North Clay Athletic Director. If anybody has any questions about North Clay School or anything like that, to get a hold of you or get a hold of, well, how do they get a hold of you? What's the best?
Well, the easiest way would be probably call the school. We still use the old snail phones and stuff like that.
Don't even have to email.
But another way would be to email me. All of our stuff's available online at northclayschools.com. Our sports schedules are available at northclaysports.com. Those would probably be the easiest ways to get a hold of me, and I'd be happy to talk to anybody about anything.
Sports starts this afternoon.
Yeah, so we actually started junior high baseball, junior high softball. Those teams are in
high
full
school sports, I guess.
And then we actually started a junior high cross country, a true Clay County Co-op, so it's Flora, North Clay, and Clay City being hosted by North Clay.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Junior high and high school cross country.
Is that a precursor maybe to, I don't know if the high schools will mix in a cross country and become a full county cross country like that? That'd be a pretty good group.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do with cross country, and we've also extended that for obviously our bass fishing team. Now, Flora's got a nice bass fishing team, so they're not interested in that yet. But we're also adding high school bowling this year, so we're going to be going to.
Are you bowling in Salem or Flora?
Neither one. We're going to Effingham.
Oh, are you? Pagel up there?
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, another promotion here. Pagel's the Lanes. There's a sponsor.
That's right. So Keith Limes is one of our old players and is now our coach, and so we're really excited about those.
Outstanding. We'll get to the rest of that stuff in just a minute. I got some more pictures.
Yeah.
I want to show more pictures before we run out of time.
Yeah.
And these are all from the community celebration. You had, from what I understand, I couldn't make it up there, but this was the Sunday after the championship. You had just a gigantic crowd.
I think that it was every bit as large as for those of you that are familiar with Fall Festival, I think it was every bit as large as a Fall Festival crowd. I know I've heard numbers around 700. It felt like it was closer to 1,000.
For a town with 1,200 people.
Yeah, I think everybody made it. We had people that joined us along the way from South Central and Flora and Effingham and places like that. And of course, our friends at Clay City. It's a Clay City Co-op, and so I want to mention that as well.
Remind me what the trophies are. Yeah, it looks like a regional and a sectional. And
we've got our state run. So we've got a regional, sectional, super sectional, and state.
Oh, the glove is the super?
Nope. So the glove is actually a brand new NTC conference tournament traveling trophy, kind of like the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
And the first name on there, etched forever, is the 2021 North Clay fall baseball team.
How about that?
And so then there's another one there.
What's the other one?
It's kind of in the plants there. And it's got all of our NTC champions, and so we were able to put.
So that's another brand new plaque.
Yep.
Is that going to travel too?
No, that one stays. We'll actually list all of our conference champions in all high school sports on that
That'll
one.
be North Clay. That's the North Clay NTC championship.
That's correct.
Okay. Let's take a look at some of the other pictures. Tell me a little bit of story about this fella.
So this is Hunter Clifton on the left. He's our assistant coach. Hunter and his family, Hunter, Harm, and Holden, they embody what North Clay is. Shown next to him is Mr. Atchison. So the Atchison boys and Skylar Wiley were declared by the village a few years ago as super fans. And
wow, that's
they
cool.
used to come out to the old ballpark and they'd get their seats and they'd go to the gym and they'd sit in their seats and they'd share their wisdom with the coaches sometimes in the middle of the game. But Mr. Atchison, one of the oldest living fans there, and it just meant so much to him.
It looks like it means a lot to Coach Freck,
and
too.
Coach Freck, I mean, all those boys look up to, this is a community that cherishes their history, the Bud Zink, Smitty. I mean, this is a group where when people introduce this more distinguished generation, the stories flow. And our kids just sit and absorb all of that North Clay history, all that sports history, and it's just such a great community to be a part of.
Well, that's cool. Got another couple of pictures. You can't. Let's see.
Oh yeah. So
that was taken that same day, I believe.
Yeah, we had a little media session before the celebration, and obviously that's Coach Freck and his little boy Easton, and that's a generational thing within the Freck family. John's dad, Dennis, longtime official in the GRAC, and did some minor league baseball. And Easton is John and Easton are neighbors of mine. Easton and my daughter Brooklyn play together. He's just the coolest little kid, and it was so cool to see those two share that bond after every single game.
Well, that is really good, and you can't do it without the support of the parents, can you?
So we had such a phenomenal group of parents, and I did mention Landon Fry when I was talking about some of the seniors, but yeah, these moms. So just in case any of you are watching this and you don't know how we do things at North Clay, we had a home ball game on a Friday, and it got rained out. And I called it early. I said, we just can't play on the field. And then about an hour later, Troy Triad calls and says, we've got turf field, we could play. So again, just kind of setting the story here, Troy Triad is a 3A team.
Also about an hour and a half away.
And you're about an hour and a half, 2 hours away.
Yeah.
So I don't get a hold of the parents until 11 or 12 o'clock once I've secured transportation. We left at around 1:30.
Wow.
And so we went from a home game on a Friday to a game a ways against a ranked 3A team, and the parents didn't complain one bit. I didn't hear one bit of that.
That's one of the other odd things about this year was how the schedule kind of went on the fly a lot of times, didn't it? I mean, is that something that you think will continue as?
Boy, I hope not. There's a lot of moving parts to that.
The IHSA basically threw their hands up, and you guys picked up several different state champions on the schedule this year.
Yeah, we tried. So we knew we were good. We needed to see how good we were, and so we played in Edwardsville against Lyle Bennett and Pleasant Plains.
Right.
We picked up Nashville along the way. It was a really nice team. We played Freeburg.
Played St. Thomas too.
We played all kinds of different teams there. Troy Triad, Breeze Central. We just wanted to see where we were at, and by the time we made it to state, we knew we belonged.
Oh, well, you look at the scores. that kind of becomes clear. I got to tell you, how's volleyball going to be? You got 20 seconds.
We're going to have a great high school volleyball team. I would recommend that everybody come out and watch us.
We'll have 3 of those games on Wabash as well.
We're going to have a great high school boys and girls basketball program. The varsity programs there are solid. We've got a great incoming group of freshmen. There's a lot to be excited about at North Clay.
And a new court.
And a new court. Actually, we redid the junior high gym floor too.
How about it? Like you got nothing else to do.
Right.
Rich, thank you so much for being here. Congratulations.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate that so much.
Folks, thank you so much for watching Big Talk. You have a great day. See you soon.